The story begins on a normal afternoon when a girl walking down a path notices a pretzel stall nearby. The seller gladly hands her a pretzel but asks for 3 kisses in return. The girl seems shocked at first, but she happily kisses him on the lips and walks away. It is then revealed that kisses have replaced paper money and have become the world currency. A realtor is showing a couple around a house they are looking to buy. After everything is finalized, they are asked to pay $200,000 up front. The husband simply steps back as the wife and the realtor start kissing. They go on and on for about an hour but only reach up to $1,000. Somewhere else, a street singer is kissed by random passerby as a tip. Similarly, a group of friends at a restaurant split the bill, taking turns to kiss the waitress. A boss is distributing paychecks to his employees at the end of the month, but because checks and banks don't work in this world, he has to kiss 100 people in a day. A more interesting scene can be seen outside in an alleyway, where a dealer is exchanging drugs for kisses. They even get into an argument when the customer tries to cut the last kiss short. Back to the realtor and the woman, who have lost count of the kisses but are still going on. The waitress finally gets done being showered with kisses and is given a smooch as a tip. Back to the pretzel girl, who liked the last one so much that she returns to get another. But this time, their kiss is stolen by a thief who runs away with it. Thankfully, a cop gets the man before he escapes and makes out with him to get the stolen kisses back. And that's the end of that one. The second story is about a man named Hatsuno, who wakes up with an X on his forehead. Initially, he thinks it is a prank and tries to remove it with water, but the mark doesn't go away. He asks his wife to remove it, but to his surprise, she doesn't see the mark. He hides his forehead with a handkerchief and makes his way to work. At one point, his assistant inquires if he has a headache and is told about the mark. But like Hatsuno's wife, she doesn't see anything. This makes him register that only he can see the mark, which means he doesn't need to worry about people judging him. Still, he remains worried about the sudden abnormal appearance. Hatsuno's wife notices he is stressed about something and asks him to visit the doctor. Hatsuno takes the advice, but even the doctor doesn't see anything wrong with him. He assumes the man is stressed and prescribes a bunch of medicine. On his way back, Hatsuno is still worried, but then he comes across another guy with an identical mark on his forehead. They jump in excitement, having finally discovered that they are not alone. A while later, they are at a roadside restaurant, talking about their experiences with the mark. The man's name is Kira, and he got the mark 2 months ago. He knows a bit more about it because his father also had the mark appear on his forehead right before his death. Kira thinks that the mark means they are about to die in a few days, but Hatsuno doesn't believe him. They exchange numbers and decide to keep in touch in case they find out more about the marks. One day, Hatsuno is watching TV when he sees the news about a dead person. In his last speech, he has an X mark on his forehead that only Hatsuno can see. Shocked, he gives Kira a call, only to find out that he died a few days ago. In the next scene, Hatsuno goes to his funeral and sees that the mark has disappeared. It is clear that Kira's prediction was true, which means Hatsuno is about to die as well. He knows that he cannot prevent it, so he decides to live the little time he has to the fullest. That day at work, he meets a client desperately in need of a loan. Hatsuno grants him the push and is happy to have made an impact on his life. The deed provides him a bit of satisfaction, making him feel his death is not so bad after all. It is also his wife's birthday, so on his way back home, he gets her a present. But on the train, he notices everyone around him has a mark on their foreheads. Realizing that it is about to crash, he gets off at the next station, but the horror follows him when he sees that everyone at the station has the mark as well. Hatsuno runs outside, but the mark follows him everywhere, even to his home. The news on TV reveals that a virus with a 100% mortality rate is spreading all around Asia. In the last scene, the Japanese politician tells the people to rest assured, declaring the virus is not dangerous at all. However, Hatsuno, who knows the truth, screams in frustration. The third story sets around a world where the concept of lying hasn't been discovered. People always tell the truth no matter what it results in. The episode begins at a wedding, where a pretty woman is marrying a conventionally unattractive man. Their best friend delivers a speech for the newlyweds, and reveals that the woman is only marrying the man for money. Moreover, she has already been in a relationship with their other friend, Shotaro, who is also at the wedding. An enraged groom attacks Shotaro, causing a big mess. These kinds of conflicts are common in a world with with no lies? All advertisements, thieves, and even politicians always tell the truth. A day after the wedding, Shotaro is laid off from his work. He argues with his boss that their product sucks, but it doesn't get him the job back. After the eventful day, he goes out with his girlfriend, but she too breaks up with him. It turns out that her senior at work is approaching her and she wants to give him a chance because of his status. Tired of his bad luck, Shotaro makes his way back home. Suddenly, he sees a purse on the ground and picks it up, but is caught by a policeman while doing so. He tries explaining that he was about to hand over the purse to its owner, but the policeman doesn't listen. He assumes Shotaro is a burglar and points a gun at him. Shotaro's life flashes in front of his eyes, and in a moment of panic, he says the purse belongs to him. The cop doesn't ask him further questions and leaves. Shotaro doesn't realize what he just did and returns home in exhaustion. He lives with his father, who has found out that his son is unemployed. Embarrassed about his life, Shotaro claims that he got a corporate job just today. His father believes him, which leaves him in shock. In the next scene, he meets friends and tells them about the new discovery. Initially, they don't understand the concept of lying, but Shotaro teaches them using examples. By the end of an hour, they start lying for fun, just because they can. They go to restaurants and eat for free, claiming that they have already paid. Similarly, after having fun for a few more days, Shotaro suggests they use their talent to make money. He picks up 2 water bottles and declares that the water gives people happiness. The friends start a company of happy water, and people buy into the attractive slogan, thinking that the water will make them happy. In only a month, the trio turns into millionaires. Shotaro buys a mansion for his father, but on the day of the move, he gets a call from his friends. Their headquarters are raided by their customers, complaining that their water didn't bring them happiness. To get out of trouble, Shotaro claims that the effects of the water are seen in 3 to 5 years. The crowd disperses, but a little girl named Yuki doesn't move. Her mother suffered from a terminal disease and died, and she blames Shotaro for it because his water gave them hope. He feels awful for the little girl, but she runs away before he gets to her. Following that, the friends sit down and decide to stop producing the fake water. Then, we see Shotaro visit Yuki's home, where her grandmother reveals how much hurt the little girl has been through because of the fake water. Shotaro finds Yuki and lies to her for the last time. He tells her that her mother called him before her death and said she loved her daughter to the moon and back. Even when she dies, she will watch over her from afar. Yuki feels her heart calm down and thanks him for informing her of the message. Then, Shotaro turns himself in, telling the police about the discovery. The world changes because of him, and advertisements are no longer true. The politicians and thieves get away with anything, but fights and conflicts also decrease drastically. In the last scene, Shotaro gets out of prison and reunites with his friends, hoping to start a new life. The last story revolves around a Japanese man named Ryota, who has never had a girlfriend or any admirable success in his life. One morning, he wakes up to a box at his front door. He doesn't remember ordering anything, which makes him curious about the contents of the box. He opens it carefully, but is underwhelmed by a pair of glasses inside. The scene cuts to a day earlier. Ryota was going through a mental spiral because of his non-existent love life and his lousy job. Last night, he drank several cans of alcohol before matching with a beautiful girl named Misa on a dating site. Today is the day they are supposed to meet, and Ryota decides to elevate his style with the glasses. But upon wearing them, he instantly realizes they are not a usual pair. The box assures any customer who wears them will be shown a path to happiness. I already fell for this shit last week with the water, says Ryota. They turn out to be smart glasses that scan people in situations for Ryota and tell him exactly what he should say or do. Ryota is skeptical, but he decides to give it a try nonetheless. At first, he takes some time to get accustomed to them, but he soon finds them useful. The glasses count calories and stamina and tell him what he should eat. They also tell him what path is the shortest route to his destination and at what speed he should walk. But they come in the most handy when he finally meets his date, Misa. As the couple greets each other, the glasses scan Misa's social media and find out about her interest in art and museums. At the glasses' advice, Ryota suggests they go to a museum for a date. Misa is happy to have found a man with the same interest as her. She excitedly asks him what he thinks about the art she likes. Ryota freezes because he doesn't even understand the terminology and quickly asks the glasses for help. Then, he is shown a book and asked to read a few lines from it. By the end of the trip, Misa is thoroughly impressed with the knowledge Ryota possesses. They go to a restaurant for dinner, where Ryota follows proper dining manners thanks to his new mentor. Then, suddenly, a man falls unconscious and stops breathing because of a respiratory problem. Everyone panics, but no one knows how to assist him. This is when Ryota comes to help and performs CPR with the help of the glasses. A few minutes later, the man is saved, and Misa is moved by Ryota's kindness and courage. On their way back home, she asks him out on a second date. Starting that day, Ryota never takes the glasses off for a second of his life. He becomes completely dependent on them, from buying clothes to choosing what he wants to eat that day. He also does significantly better at work, as the glasses tell him just the thing he must say to impress the boss. Ultimately, Ryota is promoted to the manager of his branch. After only a month of owning the glasses, Ryota's life has turned upside down. One afternoon, he brings Misa to his house, looking to propose to her. The glasses even provide him with the script that will impress her enough for her to say yes. But just when he starts reading it, the glasses run out of power, and he has to make up an excuse to put them on charge. He goes out to buy a cake for both of them, but in his absence, Misa finds out about the device and reads the entire proposal script. Ryota returns a while later and tries to continue the date, but Misa stops him from embarrassing himself further, disclosing that she knows about the glasses. Ryota explains that he is just bad at relationships, which is why he took the help, but Misa doesn't want to listen to any explanations. She feels awful for falling for his charade, and claims that she wants to be in love with him, not the glasses. Ryota takes them off, promising to be himself from now onwards. Probably a bad idea, Ryota. The following day, Misa is at work when Ryota approaches her to apologize again. He doesn't have the glasses on and is kept to the promise that he made yesterday. He tells Misa how much he loves her and proposes to her with a ring. When Misa agrees to marry him, we find out he is wearing a lens replacement for the glasses. A flashback from last night reveals that his promise and him throwing his precious belongings away was also a suggestion from the device. Unaware of all of this, Misa is happy to be engaged to the love of her life. Somewhere else, the couple is being broadcasted live in a meeting. The manufacturers of the glasses used Ryota as a test subject to prove its efficiency. The episode ends when they make a deal with an investor to make the glasses commercial. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.